I'm going to be rebuilding the Minnesota Vikings, but with the new addition of Jonathan Allen, and we're also going to, of course, have JJ McCarthy as the starter. So if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys like and or subscribe. Let's see if we can get this video to 100 likes. I would appreciate that. But moving straight into the video, I personally think JJ McCarthy, he'll be a solid starter, especially with the pieces he has around him. He has a great offensive line and many options here. You got Jordan Addison, Justin Jefferson, TJ Hawkinson, Rondale Moore. You got some options at running back as well this offseason with Jordan Mason. Defensively here, you got Jonathan Allen, Javon Hargrave, Harrison Phillips, really nice depth at the defensive line. Andrew Van Ginkel, very underrated edge rusher in the NFL. And then we got Jonathan Grenard. I know a lot of people are going to want Jonathan Grenard to start, but I want to develop Dallas Turner, so I'm going to put Dallas Turner as a starter. You didn't spend a first-round pick on him for nothing. So I like them in rotation in real life, but in Madden, it's really hard to rotate them properly, especially with just the system in Madden. Then Byron Murphy, one of the most underrated defensive backs in the NFL, really popped off this year, actually. But for your middle linebackers, you got Blake Cashman, pretty underrated as well, Ivan Pace. And then in this simulation, unfortunately, we did have Harrison Smith, the hitman, retire. I know some people are going to be like, oh, it's unrealistic now. I guarantee you, even if I do import him back into the game with his age, he'll immediately retire the next season. He won't really do much for us, and I could see the Vikings taking safety Malachi Starks in this offseason just because they do need a safety for the long term. I think they lost Cameron Bynum in the free agency period to the Colts, I believe. I could be wrong on that. But either way, I still do think that the Vikings could draft another safety, especially since Lewis Seen didn't work. It would be funny if they drafted two Georgia safeties and they both didn't work out, but we'll see how that goes. I know JJ McCarthy is a baller in Madden simulation. We'll see how that plays out. And I could see them even drafting a running back in this year's draft because I don't think Jordan Mason is going to cut it long term, and Aaron Jones, of course, will not be up there in age anymore. Well, he will be up there in age, but I don't quite know what I would do with him whenever he gets to that point in Madden. And that's exactly what I'm going to do here. I'm going to be picking up Malachi Starks here out of Georgia. I know some people say he could be a top 15 prospect and he won't fall this far, or yada, yada, yada. Either way, in my opinion, I think Malachi Starks could fall because he's a safety. We saw it with Kyle Hamilton and the Ravens. A lot of people said Kyle Hamilton could go top 5. He slid all the way to 14 for the Ravens. He's been a steal for them ever since. But let's see if this Georgia safety actually works out for the Vikings. Unlike Lewis Seen, Malachi Starks seems like a baller here as he has 96 speed, 94 acceleration, really fast for a safety, 6'3", 205. Am I tripping? Do the Vikings seriously not have another second-round pick or anything? They only have a first-round pick, and then they simulate all the way to the 5th round? No, there's no way. I gotta look that up. So I just looked it up. They have a first-round pick. They have a complimentary pick in the 3rd round, but that's a complimentary pick. You can't import those into Madden. You kind of just have to force it and take away somebody else's pick. And then you have a 5th-round pick and a 6th-round pick. So, yeah, the Vikings do not have any draft capital this year other than the first-round pick. I was not aware of that, so honestly, I'm going to simulate to the end of the draft. So even though we didn't have the best draft because of the limited draft capital we had, I still think Vikings had a good offseason, getting Will Fries as well for the offensive line, getting Ryan Kelly, I believe, for their offensive line as well, and then Rondale Moore as a 3rd receiver is nice. JJ McCarthy really has everything at his disposal here. We got Malachi Starks at the strong safety, then we got the other guy, Josh, at the free safety. Everything is looking pretty good. You love the stack out here on the defensive line. I would like to have Dallas Turner starting. Could just make him the rush defensive end, then Jonathan Grenard start for the tackles for a loss. So I will manually adjust that and make Dallas Turner the rush right end, and then Jonathan Grenard just be the starting defensive end. And then we'll move from there. I'm going to put Ivan Pace as the starting sub linebacker just so that way he can develop more. Everything else seems pretty good. Jordan Addison in the slot. Let's move to the midseason mark for your number 1. 4-2 at the midseason mark with JJ McCarthy. 8th in offensive points per game, 21st in defensive points per game, but our defensive passing game is ranked 6th. Andrew Van Ginkel, 3rd in the league for sacks, 7 tackles for a loss as well. He's doing really good. Scouting national focus here. Honestly, the team is already pretty good. I'm going to do middle linebacker though, so that way we can get someone at the left outside or right outside linebacker. I know we have Blake Cashman, but I think he's 30 right now or 29. For the re-signings, Ivan Pace Jr. here. He just doesn't want to be here. He doesn't want state income tax. I'm going to pay him an extra bag to stay here long term because he has star development. He's 24 years old. I want him to stay here for a long time. Josh here, I do want back. I don't know about an extensive deal because he's about to start regression. We'll see how he plays. I'll do a 2-year deal and then pump his money up to $12 million a year, and he still wants a long-term deal here. Andrew Van Ginkel, depends how you play. He's usually a baller in simulation. Aaron Jones is just going to keep regressing. Even if he does have a good season with us, he's just going to keep falling further and further down. I probably just don't want him long-term. Don't really want Josh Oliver. Don't want any of these extras either. I forgot they signed Jeff Okudah, CJ Ham, Jordan Addison. Of course, I'm going to accept that option. All these other extras I don't want. Let's move in to the playoffs to see if we can make them in year one with JJ McCarthy. 12-5, another great season from the Vikings here. Hopefully we don't crap the bed like Sam Darnold. 3rd in offensive points per game, 1st in passing game, 2nd in passing defense, 10th in the rushing defense, but 16th in defensive points per game. Still a really good year. Here to face Sam Darnold in the Seattle Seahawks. This is going to be quite a wild card matchup. Stats and awards, year 1, and JJ McCarthy is already your league MVP. There's no way. Oh my gosh, dude. What a start to the video. Kansas City offense with the air raid scheme. Yes, that's my playbook. I'm sure everyone's just going to start asking you about it. Yeah, already 5,000 yards and 51 touchdowns in his first starting season. 2nd best offense in the NFL in terms of yards, and then defensively 2nd as well. 5,000 yards, 51 touchdowns, 11 receptions, 118 pass rating. Only got sacked 26 times. This is the best possible situation a rookie QB can really be put in. So good for him, but EA, you need to nerf JJ McCarthy. This is wild for a starting year, for his first starting season. Aaron Jones, 4.2 per carry, no fumbles, 7 touchdowns. Actually a pretty solid season. TJ Hawkinson, 104 receptions, almost 1,200 yards, 12 touchdowns. He's going to get X Factor. Jordan Addison, 1,100 yards, 13 touchdowns. Justin Jefferson, 1,100 yards, 11 touchdowns. Rondale Moore, almost 1,100 yards, 9 touchdowns. All of these guys deserve a development upgrade. They all had a great year. Sacks allowed, O'Neal with 9, Christian Darrisaw with 9. He's like a 95 overall superstar development. He should be doing better than that. Ryan Kelly with 4, Will Fries with 2, and Blake here, he was only a 74 overall and he only allowed 2 sacks. It's pretty good. Ivan Pace with 114 tackles for a loss, 18 for Javon Hargrave, 12 for Andrew Van Ginkel, 10 for Jonathan Allen, 9 for Dallas Turner, sacks 25 for Andrew Van Ginkel. I told you he was really good in simulation, literally breaks the sack record. Most sacks in a season, Andrew Van Ginkel, 25 in the year 2020. That's ridiculous, dude. Year 1 and we're already broken. So many records have already been set, especially for a year 2 QB with JJ McCarthy. 6.5 sacks for Javon Hargrave, 6 for Dallas Turner, interceptions 4 for Byron Murphy, deflections 9 for Ivan Pace, 8 for Byron Murphy, 6 for Blake Cashman, 0 safeties, and 0 defensive touchdowns on the year. Will Sam Darnold crap the bed again and lose another wild card round game, this time with the Seahawks here, and he does 28-13, probably not a very good game from him. Here to face the 12-5 San Francisco 49ers. We're both an 87 overall team, but we should be the better team here as we lose. 37-31, defense sold, allowing 37 points against the Niners is ridiculous. After an amazing year and MVP QB, we fall short at the divisional round here. That's disappointing. And another boring Super Bowl matchup as the Niners just can't beat the Chiefs. 20-31 as the Chiefs beat the Niners in the Super Bowl for the 3rd time as Patrick Mahomes wins the Super Bowl MVP. JJ McCarthy wins the league MVP, surprisingly. Andrew Van Ginkel, Defensive Player of the Year, is wild. I would argue that probably Andrew Van Ginkel should get the MVP for setting the all-time sack record, but I guess that's just me. In the NFC North, Kevin Byard retires with the Bears. For the team upgrades, JJ McCarthy is a superstar. I'm going to make him X Factor. There's literally no debate to this. When you win league MVP, that means you are the best player in the entire NFL. There's no reason why he shouldn't be an X Factor and others should. Like, you are the best player in the entire NFL. You just won league MVP. That's an immediate X Factor. Aaron Jones, huge regression, goes from an 80 overall to a 74 without the boost. Rondale Moore, Jordan Addison. Dude, Jordan Addison just had a stellar season. Almost 1,200 yards, 98 receptions, double-digit touchdowns, and he's been consistently putting this up. I mean, the 2024 season was obviously AI generated by the AI, but still, here, this is more than deserving of superstar development. And I believe Rondale Moore almost had 1,100 yards and 9 touchdowns. He is deserving of star development, but I don't want to get too carried away with these development traits. JJ McCarthy, league MVP, easily X Factor. Jordan Addison, amazing year as well. I don't want to get too pushy with it. I'll leave Rondale Moore as a normal development. TJ Hawkinson naturally got upgraded to an X Factor, leading the team in receptions, yards, touchdowns, all that jazz. Andrew Van Ginkel, he's going to an X Factor. I know some people are going to be like, oh, you're getting carried away with this. You're cheating. He won Defensive Player of the Year. He was just graded as the best player in the entire NFL, 100% deserving of Superstar X Factor. And then Malachi Starks comes with star development. That's fine. Everything else here looks the same. Really, really good year for the team. I expected us to at least get to the conference championship, if not the Super Bowl. JJ McCarthy dropping 5,000 yards in his first starting season is ridiculous, but we'll see how we do in the offseason. For the re-signings, Jordan Addison, I'm going to accept that option. Josh here, again, I do want you back, but I don't really want you here like long term. 15 million a year for 2 years. Still doesn't want to sign. How much would it take to tag him? 18 million for 1 year. Honestly, not a bad shout. Andrew Van Ginkel just won Defensive Player of the Year. 2-year contract, only 16 million a year for the Defensive Player of the Year. Absolutely, I'll take that. Aaron Jones can walk. Josh Oliver, I don't really want. All these other extras, I'm just not interested in. But honestly, Josh, I'll honestly tag for the 19 million for 1 year. I really don't mind. I have the money for it, and obviously JJ McCarthy is going to want an absolute bag. I could get his 5th-year option, but we'll see. And for free agency here, do I really even need anything? I feel like my team's already a Super Bowl contender with how amazing JJ McCarthy is after year 1, which really isn't much of a rebuild. Alex Pierce doesn't look bad, but I don't really need him. Brian Cook doesn't seem like the worst shout long-term, maybe, over Josh. Then Damian Pierce. Dean actually is not bad. He has a huge interest with the team. So, yeah, I'm going to get Nakobe Dean on a 4-year deal. I like him. He's young, even though he has normal development. I'm cool with that. He's going to stay with us, and I don't really want anything else. Let's move into the draft. And before we move into the draft, I really don't need anything on offense. Sure, I could go with a running back. Why not? But Blake has honestly been doing good. 2 sacks allowed the entire year. He had a good season with us. Andrew Van Ginkel's trying to come off the edge there, which I don't like. So I'm going to need a right outside linebacker, which is probably just going to be Nakobe Dean. And then honestly, a free safety to replace Josh, because I just don't want to pay him because I have to pay Jordan Addison. I don't really want to dish out money on players. Like, he's good, but would I rather have him or Jordan Addison? I'd much rather pay Jordan Addison a bag, and then I could get another corner. I don't think I'm going to re-sign Isaiah Rodgers. We'll see what we have. Jonathan Allen and Javon Hargrave and Harrison Phillips all getting old. Could look in that direction, but we'll see. And the Cowboys with the number 1 overall pick is wild. They're going to pick up a defensive end. Probably should replace Dak Prescott, but that's just me. Bunch of QBs here on the board as well. There's a first-round halfback in Spencer Boyd that's tempting. 5'9", 200 pounds, elusive back, good speed, good acceleration here. B's across the board. Really doesn't seem that bad, but, you know, I really don't need anything else. So I could take him. I could do the linebacker. I could do the corner. Let me check out the corners. Tommy Jones out of Washington State, 6'3", 190 here. Elite speed, elite acceleration, runs a 4.35, B zone coverage, B man, A block shedding, 4.31 at his pro day. Great strength. Dude, Tommy Jones looks sick. He's going to be the pick over the running back. Ranked 8 in the class, got him at 26. Hidden development, 95 speed, 95 acceleration, 95 change of direction. He looks great. Late round number 2, that QB, Braden Irwin, is still on the board, but I'm going to look at the running backs here. And what do we have here? Dexter Graves, what a last name, out of Miami. 6'1", power back, 222. Great strength, good speed, good acceleration, elite jumping, A break tackle, B carrying, A pass block. He can do it all. I know it's like, oh, you should review the other running backs. I don't care. Dexter Graves is the pick. Ranked 57, got him at 58. Hidden development, he seems pretty good. He's going to be the backup for now. He can be like the 3rd down back or the power back. I'm cool with that. He's not going to be the starter just because he's just going to start out as a lower overall. The middle linebackers, Mike Blanton doesn't seem that good. Don't really like anyone there. This guy has A power, and Lucas Reichart here. Great speed, good acceleration, poor jumping. Maybe he'll take a chance in the later rounds. In the 3rd round, picking up defensive tackle Caleb Logan out of South Carolina, 91 strength, 6'3", 300 pounds, normal development. Seems all right. Mainly just took him because of the strength. Now we got the 4th round. Let me go look at that linebacker with A hit power, and then I'll just wrap up the draft here. Everything else here just doesn't really seem the best. A hit power for this guy, day 3 guy, Lucas Reichart here out of, what is that, UTSA? Okay, that's fine with me. Great speed, A hit power, we'll try it. Ranked 276, got him at 122. Hidden development, though, even though he's not going to be a high overall. Sure, why not? That's a good value late pick. Tommy Jones is a 76 overall, 73 for Dexter Graves, 67 for Caleb Logan, 64 for Reichert, but sure, he'll be depth. Receiver Gaithers here is a 69 overall, nice 66 for Matt Redman, another receiver as well. The Vikings just love picking up receivers they don't need, but sure, I'll take it. Now, this is the team after the draft. Graves is going to be the number 2 in the starting fullback, so that way he can get his reps in. Everyone else here looks fine. 87 overall team already in year 2. Let's move Reichert up, just that way he can get the development boost. Everything else seems pretty good for now, and then Tommy Jones is going to be moved up. And Dallas Turner, honestly, I'm just going to start Dallas Turner all around. I know it's like Jonathan Grenard's probably good, but again, I want to develop Dallas Turner, and I'm probably not going to be able to pay Jonathan Grenard again, so we'll go with that. Power back, Let's just do I do Graves? I mean, sure. We'll go with Graves there for now. Everything else seems pretty good. Tommy Jones can play in the slot. And then Dallas Turner. Why would my Andrew Van Ginkel be benched over Jonathan Grenard? He literally just won Defensive Player of the Year. Everything else seems good. 87 overall team. Hopefully we can make it past the divisional round this year. Let's move into the midseason mark for year number 2. 2-5 all of a sudden because EA Sports. Our defense is just atrocious, averaging 25.2 points allowed per game. Our passing defense is just horrible, even though I literally improved it with our new corner. That doesn't make any logical sense, but sure, EA. JJ McCarthy, top 3 for QBs in the NFL in terms of passing yards. Don't see any other awards. Scouting national focus here. I mean, do I do corner? Do I do safety? I mean, clearly our passing defense is the problem here, so I guess I'm going to do safety to replace Josh. Players ready to negotiate here. $87 million to spend. Jonathan Allen, depends how you play. Josh still doesn't want to be here. Mekhi Blackman here doesn't want to be here either. He wants to be historic champs. I mean, way to join the Vikings then, dude. Jordan Mason, don't really want. He's about to turn 28, start regression. He won't even hit an 85 overall. Will Fries, I don't know the massive contracts he got in real life. I think he's going to last a long time here. I do want him on the team, and he doesn't even take a very player-friendly deal. Brian O'Neill, it depends how you play, dude. You allowed 9 sacks last year, and what do you want? Probably like $20 million? Yeah, $24 million a year to allow 9 sacks. I'm not doing that. Rondale Moore, we'll see how you play. Blake Cashman, we'll see how you play. All these other extras, I just don't really want. And then Ryan Kelly is pushing 34 there. Yeah, all these guys, just a lot of aging out players. It's ridiculous that we're 2-5, though. Like, I literally improved my defensive passing game, and it's just holding the team down right now. So let's move into the playoffs. 9-8, we missed the playoffs because our defense sucks. Just Reds across the board. That blows, dude. Like, it doesn't make any sense. I improved my defense from the previous year. Got Nakobe Dean. I don't really think I let anyone walk on my defense. Like, I mean, sure, there was some regression there, but really, this is how poorly my defense plays after improving my secondary? That's ridiculous. Stats and awards, JJ McCarthy. Is that back-to-back league MVPs? No, he is 3rd for league MVP. EA, you got to nerf JJ McCarthy. Dude hasn't even played one snap in an NFL game yet. Y'all got to calm down. 2nd best offense in the NFL. Defensively, 25th. Sold us. Almost 5,000 yards. Again, 47 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, 125 pass rating. Better than last year. Got sacked even less. Another amazing year from JJ McCarthy. Joe Burrow situation. His defense just sucks. Jordan Mason, 3.9 per carry. That's not that good. I mean, 0 fumbles, 7 touchdowns. Kind of similar to last year, just less yards, less attempts, worse average. Not really the best there. JJ McCarthy, 6 rushing touchdowns as well. Jordan Addison, 113 receptions, 1,500 yards, 23 touchdowns. Is that an all-time record? Yeah, that's X Factor. So Jordan Addison ties Randy Moss's 2008 touchdown record in a season with 23. Crazy year from Jordan Addison. Of course, he's going to get a massive payday and going to be an X factor. Justin Jefferson, 10 touchdowns, 1,200 yards. TJ Hawkinson, 1,000 yards, 9 touchdowns. Rondale Moore, 4 touchdowns, 700 yards. Still not a bad season, but I have a lot of money to dish out between players, especially with the Jordan Addison contract coming up, so I'm probably not going to re-sign Rondale Moore. Sacks allowed here. Will Fries with 5. Ryan Kelly with 4, Christian Darrisaw with 4, O'Neal with 3, and then Blake with 2. So I want to re-sign O'Neal. He doesn't want to be here, and he's going to want me to pay him like $24 million a year. I don't know about that. I mean, this was a great season, but we'll have to see. Ivan Pace with 107 tackles for a loss, 15 for Andrew Van Ginkel, 14 for Dallas Turner, 10 for Javon Hargrave, sacks 17 for Andrew Van Ginkel, continues to ball out. Dallas Turner, a little bit of an improvement there, more tackles for a loss. And then I still started Grenard, but yeah, Grenard is just, I mean, I know he's a backup and I'm not really using him that much, but at the same time, it's like, do I really need him, especially with all my pending contracts coming up? 4 interceptions for Ivan Pace, 4 for Tommy Jones, the rookie. That's great. Pass deflections, 9 for Ivan Pace, 9 for Cashman, and 8 for Byron Murphy. 0 safeties and 1 defensive touchdown for Byron Murphy on the year. So stupid that we go 9-8 and miss the playoffs, especially with this caliber of a team, but it is what it is, I guess. And the Eagles beat the Ravens in the Super Bowl. Jalen Hurts wins another Super Bowl MVP. Joe Burrow wins the league MVP here. And then Tommy Jones wins the Defensive Rookie of the Year at my corner position. So it's like, why did my defensive secondary just completely implode? I improved it. Why did it suddenly do bad? In the NFC South, Ryan Kelly, Javon Hargrave, Kyle Van Noy, and Jameis Winston on the Lions all retired. For the team upgrades here, Graves has Superstar X Factor. He came with that. It would have been so much better if I just started him. Yeah, no, he did not earn that. He came with that. That is awesome. So we're going to have a long-term running back. That's great to see for the rebuild. So immediately he's going to be the starter. And then Jordan Addison here, Superstar X Factor, surprise to nobody. he ties Randy Moss's record for the most touchdowns in a season, but Randy Moss did it in less games, so technically Randy Moss still holds the record. I need a new center, obviously. We're going to see O'Neal's contract, and then Andrew Van Ginkel still hasn't really regressed as hard as I thought he would. Harrison Phillips, he's down to a 69 overall. Jonathan Allen still regressing. Jonathan Grenard, I probably don't want to pay out the rest of his contract. Tommy Jones, superstar development. The team is shaping up nicely, but at the same time, it's also regressing really hard. And then Jonathan Grenard is 30 years old. I don't really want him on my team anymore. He's going to take up $22 million the next year. I might just trade him because I'm going to be honest. I'm probably just not going to re-sign him. For the re-signings, JJ McCarthy, of course, I'm going to accept that option. Dallas Turner, of course, I'm going to accept his option as well. He's doing pretty solid right now. Jonathan Allen, I would not mind for 1 year if he wants to take a fat payday for $22 million. He re-signs on that. Josh, he just doesn't want to be here. I'm not going to double tack him. He can walk. Mekhi Blackman, he's 28. I wouldn't mind him back for 2 years and pay him $6 million. That's honestly not that bad. He re-signs with the team. And then Will Fries has been great for us. I want to offer him the very player-friendly deal. Again, $15 million a year, and he still wants to play for a new team. That is wild. $21 million to tag him. Jordan Mason can walk. Brian O'Neill had an amazing season with us. I'm going to have to pay him $26 million a year. This is the most I'm going to offer. The $25 million a year, he re-signs on that for 3 years. He just allowed 4 sacks for us as a right tackle. It's a great year. Don't need a Rondale Moore necessarily. And then Blake Cashman can walk. He's 78 overall. Don't need Harrison Phillips. Yeah, a lot of this team is getting ripped apart. And then Blake here did pretty good for us. Back-to-back years. Let's give him another 1-year deal. I know he's 30, but he still did really good for us, allowing only 2 sacks, I believe, back-to-back years. But yeah, Josh, Will Fries doesn't want to be here. Jordan Mason, Rondale Moore, Blake Cashman, Zay Rogers, and all these other extras are going to walk. I have $48 million left to spend, but again, I'm going to have to pay Jordan Addison a bag next year. So if I'm going to do free agency, I'm going to have to do 1-year signings. And in free agency, don't want Jenkins, really. Don't really want Jameson Williams either. I don't want to spend, again, too much money on any of these guys. Will Fries is back in free agency. I know I said 1-year deals, but I low-key want Will Fries back. He actually did pretty good, and I love his name. After free agency, I got Ethan Evans as a long-term punter, so overall cheap contract because he's a punter, and then I got Leonard Williams on a 1-year deal just to fill the defensive tackle position role. And I get it, Jonathan Grenard is a cool guy and stuff like that, but it's like, I don't want him. He's an 85 overall, so I think a third-round pick would be fair value for him if I gave up a little bit in return as well, because he is 30 years old. I feel like the Eagles would love this guy in general, so I'm going to give him up. They have pick 32, so this is pick 32 in the 3rd round, late third round pick, almost a 4th round pick for Jonathan Grenard. He's an 85 overall. He's going to contribute to their team. I feel like that's a fair and realistic trade. I know I probably could have gotten a 2nd round pick for him, but I want to keep it a little bit more realistic here. So this is the team going into the draft. I need a new center and a new right guard here, and then obviously the rest of it looks really, really good here. Sure, this guy, Gaithers, can be the slot receiver for us this year, or just receiver 3. It really doesn't matter to me. I'm already stacked out of that position. Ivan Pace is supposed to be the middle linebacker. This guy will be depth, and Nakobe Dean's the right outside linebacker. I need a free safety is my top priority. I need to stack out the interior defensive line a little bit more. I'm honestly good on the secondary, you would think, even though it said we were trash this year, but we'll see how it goes. And honestly, apparently the entire defense needs an improvement, but again, we'll see. Let's move to the draft. So the defense needs an overhaul. The Cardinals get another number 1 overall pick. They're going to pick a receiver. I'm probably going to pick a safety to replace Josh in the first place, as there's a free safety in Jay Ridley here off the rip. 5'10", zone coverage 205 out of Oregon State. Good speed, good strength, good acceleration, A, awareness, B, play rec, A, pursuit, B, tackle, B, zone coverage. I like Jay Ridley a lot here. Is there a better option, though, is the question. A, awareness seems to be the top on the board. Nobody seems to compare to him. Maybe Allen Smith here, as he's 6'2", 211, run support, Oregon State. Not as fast here, not as good as awareness, but his pursuit, hit, power, tackle. This is a linebacker. Like, if he put on like an extra 20 pounds, this is definitely a linebacker. This is not a safety. C, zone coverage, run support. That's a very underweight and glorified linebacker playing there. So Jay Ridley is going to be my safety. 5'10", 205 out of Oregon State. What's the other guy out of Oregon State? Good speed, good strength, good acceleration, A, awareness, A, pursuit. Jay Ridley is going to be our 1st round pick here. Ranked 7 in the class. Got him at 18. Hidden development. That was another W pick. 2nd round pick 18 here. I'm going to be looking for a center, center off the rip. Spencer Vaughn here doesn't look bad. A awareness, 6'3", 302 here. A awareness, A impact blocking, run blocking as well. Solid strength, good speed, elite jumping, change direction, acceleration, great agility. A's and B's across the board. Spencer Vaughn, easily the pick here. Ranked 91, got him at 50, but he has the hidden development. Super athletic. You love to see it. And then in the third round, I know it's like, oh, you should be going defense. You should be going defense. I still want to replace my offensive line that I lost. So there's no good right guards in the board, but there is good left guards that I can convert to right guard here. Craig Hammond here out of Louisville. Solid strength, good speed, solid acceleration. A and B on the board. There is the other guy, Nathan Sherwood, any better. 6'5", 321, a bigger guy, solid strength, more athletic. Even though it says he has great acceleration, he runs a 5.23. I mean, that's still not bad, I guess, for an offensive lineman. Low-key, I like Nathan Sherwood better. He's a bigger guy. I think he's a little bit more athletic as well. So I'm going to pick up Nathan Sherwood. He's going to be my right guard. Ranked 41, got him at 82. Hidden development, great pick. Offensive line is beefed up again. And then with my third-round pick that I got traded away for Jonathan Grenard here, I need a defensive tackle for the long term, which doesn't really seem like that's a good option on the board. And then Jamie Irons doesn't seem very good there. Left outside linebackers, third to fourth rounder, and a speed rusher. I need a pass coverage guy. This guy's a run stopper. And Taylor Thomas out of Washington State, 6 foot, 244 here. Good speed, good strength, great acceleration. Left outside linebacker. He's a post UDFA. I'm gonna wait on that guy and try to go get a defensive tackle instead. Ooh, the elite strength at the top of the board here. Jarvis Towns out of Alabama, 6'5", 302. Elite strength, great acceleration. He looks amazing. The elite strength, immediate W. Ranked 81, got him at 96. Normal development, but that's fine. Is the other elite strength defensive tackle on the board? If he is, I will definitely snag him up. He is still on the board here. Thurman Van Over here out of Colorado, 340, 6'3", run stopper, elite strength. That's exactly why I'm going to pick him. He also had a tackle. Ranked 20, got him at 114. Hidden development. That was an absolute steal for a fourth-round pick. Now we're in the fifth round. I want to see if that left outside linebacker is still there. I don't think he's going to be any good, but I just need to fill that position of need here. Who was that guy? He was a run stopper. Taylor Thomas. I'm glad I passed on him in the moment, but I'm going to pick him now. Good speed, good strength. Why not just take a shot on him? Ranked 224, got him at 146. Normal development, it's fine. I was just trying to fill a position. With that being said, I think we just had an amazing draft. I'm just going to skip to the end of it. After the draft, Jay Ridley's a 77 baller pick. Spencer Vaughn, 71, 73 for Nathan Sherwood. Towns is a 71, even though he had normal development. 75 for Van Over. That's an amazing fourth-round pick. Taylor Thomas, that's a filler pick. That's fine. Jamie Irons, I was looking at him. He's a filler pick as well, so honestly, a really good draft in my opinion. I think I balled out there. Now, this is the team after the draft. I know we were in 87 last year. I have pending contracts coming up. That's the biggest thing. Graves, already the same overall as Jordan Mason would have been, and he's an X factor, so hopefully the development is amazing there. And then on the outside, ooh, Hannah's a 65 overall, a hidden development. That's actually not bad. He was a 7th-round pick for the AI. Ridley's automatically a starter, and I didn't think Reichart here would be a immediate starter after the second year, so good for him. And then Van Over is a 76. Towns is a 71. Those are nice depth for now. Van Ginkel is regressing, but he's still been balling for us. I'm going to keep him. Jones is at the number 2 now. Malachi Starks is up to an 83. Everything's looking pretty good so far. I like what we have. Reichart, let's move him up a little bit over into Kobe Dean. Everything else seems pretty good. So apart from that, let's move into year number 3 with our MVP caliber quarterback, JJ McCarthy, and get into the midseason mark. And we are 5-2 once again at the midseason mark. Even though our team heavily regressed, our defense still isn't the best, but 13th in defensive points per game. Much improvement as our offense is still carrying us. Scouting national focus, our secondary is still one of the worst in the league for some reason, so I'm going to do corner again. And for the players ready to negotiate, Jordan Addison, here comes the money, baby. $25 million a year, upwards of 28 there, so we're going to just offer him that, and he's going to re-sign. I have $25 million left. TJ Hawkinson, Andrew Van Ginkel, Jonathan Allen, Leonard Williams. I'm going to lose my interior defensive line this year for sure. And then my kicker, honestly, young, star development. Let's just pay him a long-term contract. It's $5 million a year, $20 million left. Now, here's the thing with TJ Hawkinson. Even though he's a 92 overall, he's 30 years old. I know he's going to be good for the rest of the rebuild, but you can easily find good tight ends in Madden simulation. You can't find good defensive ends. If Andrew Van Ginkel continues to ball out, I'm signing Andrew Van Ginkel over TJ Hawkinson. It's that simple. I might just sign Andrew Van Ginkel, then go into negative cap and tag TJ Hawkinson, but I'm definitely going to be losing Jonathan Allen and Leonard Williams after this season, so that's going to suck, but I prepared for it in the previous draft. we'll see what we have. But apart from that, let's try and win the Super Bowl this year for Jonathan Allen and move into the playoffs. 12-5, another great season here to face the 10-7 Bryce Young Carolina Panthers. They're an 86 overall. We're an 88 overall. Our defense heavily improved, 8th in defensive points per game, are in the 6th best rushing defense in the NFL, but our passing defense, again, 20th. Not very good there. Our rushing offense is 17th. That's fine. We're in a passing scheme. 2nd best passing offense. Well, 2nd best points per game in offense in the entire NFL. Andrew Van Ginkel, 3rd in the NFL for sacks. 17 sacks, 17 tackles for a loss. He's going to get the signing over TJ Hawkinson, but I'll probably tag TJ Hawkinson. Stats and awards, JJ McCarthy, still amazing. Is that MVP? Show me MVP. What? 3rd for MVP again. He had the #1 pass rating, most passing touchdowns as well, 9th in passing yards, 8th best offense in yards, 16th defense in yards, but 4,300 yards, 44 touchdowns to 5 interceptions, 125 pass rating, got sacked a lot more this year. Last year it was only 18, but still, it's honestly not bad for what it is that we currently have at our offensive line position. Dexter Graves in his first starting year, no fumbles, 14 touchdowns, 4.2 per carry, and 1,000 yards, and keep in mind, we're in a passing scheme. This is a great starting year for Dexter Graves. Jordan Addison, 15 touchdowns, 1,100 yards, completely outpacing Justin Jefferson here, who doesn't even scratch 1,000 yards, but close to it. 10 touchdowns. TJ Hawkinson, 900 yards, 9 touchdowns. And then Jarek here, 800 yards, 8 touchdowns. Outperformed Rondale Moore, and the difference is I don't have to pay him, so that's fine with me. Sacks allowed here, 14 for Christian Darrisaw. You're saying, not Shaw, Darrisaw, my bad. Darrisaw here, 14 sacks. He's a 95 overall superstar development, and he's allowing this. That's ridiculous. Brian O'Neill, I'm glad he's living up to his contract. Only 5 sacks allowed as an offensive tackle. Blake is still doing well. He's like a 76 overall. I'm cool with that. And then both the rookies only allowing 4 sacks. The interior offensive line did good. Honestly, Christian Darrisaw, my bad, is the only guy not doing that well. Ivan Pace, 110 tackles for a loss, 17 for Andrew Van Ginkel, 10 for Dallas Turner, 10 for Ivan Pace, Leonard Williams, and Jonathan Allen. That's weird. Sacks, 17.5 for Andrew Van Ginkel. He's getting the re-signing. He just continues to ball. Dallas Turner, finally, huge breakout year, 14 sacks. That's going to be superstar development. 12 tackles for a loss. 7.5 sacks for Jonathan Allen. 6 for Leonard Williams. Interceptions. 3 for Byron Murphy. 11 deflections for Byron Murphy and Ivan Pace. 10 for Mekhi Blackman. 1 safety on the team for Jonathan Allen, and defensive touchdowns is 1 for Byron Murphy. He should get superstar development. He balled out this year. 72 tackles, 2 tackles for a loss, half a sack, 3 interceptions, 11 pass deflections, and a defensive touchdown. Yeah, Byron Murphy should definitely get superstar development. Can we beat the 10-7, 86 overall Carolina Panthers, the Bryce Young Panthers, to move on to the divisional round again? And we do 41-35, high-scoring game. Defense needs to lock in. I'm assuming Baker is still the Buccaneers quarterback. Sometimes he is, sometimes he isn't. And he is 85 overall superstar development. Sometimes I see him at a 90, sometimes I see him at an 80. It's kind of weird. He bounces all over the place in Madden simulation. Can we beat the 11-6 Tampa Bay Buccaneers? We're both an 88 overall team. We have the better offense for sure, though, and it shows there. 19-16, defense stepped up. That was huge. Here to face the 8-9 Seattle Seahawks. Is Sam Darnold still the QB? Yes, he is. 86 overall, Sam Darnold here. Star development, 30 years old. Let's see how he does. And I'm going to hop into this. No way we're going to lose to an 8-9 Seahawks Sam Darnold team. Crazy that he's made it this far. Here we are against the Seahawks. They're going to open up with a punt. We're going to respond with 7. Nice start for the team. And then we're going to make it a 10-0 game. 2-score lead. 13-0 game at halftime. Opening up half, we have a punt. They're still not going to respond. Our defense is locking down 22-3 now. I'm just scattered all over the place because I'm so astonished that our defense did that well, completely shutting down the Seahawks. Who would have guessed that Sam Darnold just completely crapped the bed again, only scoring 3 points against us, as we will be going on to another Super Bowl. What is this, the Vikings' 6th Super Bowl? They're 0-5 in Super Bowls in real life, I'm pretty sure. And here we are in the Super Bowl, here to face the 9-8 Browns. Win or lose here, someone's going to get their first ever Super Bowl win in NFL history here. Hopefully it's us. Here to face the Cleveland Browns superstar X Factor, Shedeur Sanders, as he's a 93 overall already. All right, dude. He's 23 years old. He's already balling. For the team upgrades, both of our offensive linemen have star development. That's nice to see. And then, wow, Graves is already up to a 90 overall superstar X Factor with the boost. Nice to see. 89 overall team. Of course, all of these have the boost with them. Anyone with an actual, upgrade, though? Ridley comes with star development. I don't see anyone with, a real upgrade, which is honestly stupid because Byron Murphy had an amazing year with us. I'm definitely giving him superstar development. And then Dallas Turner broke out. He had 14 sacks with us. I'm going to give him superstar development as well. I don't think either of them deserve X Factor, but they both had amazing years with us, and I feel like it's just unfair. I know a lot of people, I'm doing it a lot this video because I feel like a lot of my players are just getting snubbed out of developments. Like, these guys are balling out, and the AI is just like, nah, JJ McCarthy won league MVP, and he deserves superstar at best. That's like the dumbest thing ever. 89 overall team. We look baller. Those guys definitely deserved the development upgrades. I'm not going to get too stingy with it, but apart from that, let's see if we can beat the 9-8 Cleveland Browns. We're 5 overalls higher than them, and stop Shedeur Sanders from giving the Cleveland Browns their first ever Super Bowl win. Here we are against the Browns. They're going to open up with nothing. We're going to respond with 3. Nice start for the team. Then we're going to make it a 10-0 game. Great stuff. Our offense and our defense is shutting down. 17-0 at halftime, 20-0 now, 27-0. Defensive shutdown. Offense is balling out. This is a complete blowout, humiliating the Browns as they should be. The Browns are just an embarrassment of a franchise anyways. 41-7, blowing out the Browns, humiliating them, just like how the Chiefs got humiliated by the Eagles in the Super Bowl, as your Minnesota Vikings will win their first ever Super Bowl in history. JJ McCarthy absolutely balled out here. He's going to get Super Bowl MVP. 145 passing, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, 304 yards. Shedeur Sanders, rough day, under 200 yards, 1 interception, no touchdowns. And JJ McCarthy does win the Super Bowl MVP. Jalen Hurts wins the league MVP. Kevin O'Connell wins the Coach of the Year. No other awards here for the Vikings. Let's see if we can go back-to-back. I feel like we should have won the Super Bowl year 1 with how amazing JJ McCarthy did. But I like our team ranks there. I mean, I think our team should be better than what it is right now, honestly. But I'll take it. It's a Super Bowl team. How much more better can you get there? But I feel like we low-key had an easy schedule. 9-8 Browns and 8-9 Seahawks. Really didn't feel that difficult. But we'll see if we can run it back and go back-to-back here. In the NFC North, Leonard Williams retires with a Super Bowl ring. Kyle Juszczyk on the Bears retires. Darius Smith, Joe Thuney, and Grady Jarrett all retire. And for the re-signings, we got Malachi Starks here. Andrew Van Ginkel is going to be the #1 option here. 1-year deal because he is pushing that older age more and more. I'll accept the option for Malachi Starks here. Jonathan Allen I do want back. TJ Hawkinson, though, I could tag him or Allen. TJ Hawkinson, I'll do a 2-year deal, only $14 million a year. I'll definitely accept that. So surprisingly, I was able to get him back as well. We signed a right guard that wasn't that bad, but I don't really need him. All these other extras I don't really want. And then actually Blake I do want back. Even though he is regressing, I don't care. He's been great for us. He's going to get another 1-year deal. Jonathan Allen will not accept the deal, but I'm probably just going to tag him. We're going to offer him this bad deal. He's going to reject. I don't care. I'm going to go into negative cap room, negative 31 million there, negative 21 million, but it was a 31 million tag. I know that's really a lot for Jonathan Allen, but at the same time, I have a Super Bowl winning team. I want to maintain it the best I can here. Offensive line is looking good. And then we got Sherwood here, and then we got this guy who I'm not going to re-sign, so he's not coming back. Blake's going to be back. And then apart from that, do I really need anything else? I mean, my defensive line depth is pretty good. I guess I'll just draft someone else again. Honestly, draft another corner because apparently that's evidently still a problem. And then maybe, honestly, Jarek here is not a bad 3, so we don't really need another receiver. So apart from that, let's just skip into the draft. And the Saints get the #1 overall pick. They're finally going to draft their new franchise QB as the Browns snag a receiver right in front of us, also named Jarek, so I don't really need him anyways. And there's QBs on the boards. Why am I scouting QB talent? I definitely don't need that. But let's look at the corners. Top 5 talent on the board conveniently at pick 32 in Marquis Timmons here out of Washington, 6 foot, 201, elite strength, great speed, elite acceleration here, A zone coverage, A press. Yeah, Timmons is going to be the pick here. Wow, we are balling out on these picks. Ranked #2, got him at 32. Normal of course. The top 5 pick, the top 5 talent has normal development. Why would I be so stupid to believe that this guy would actually be a higher talent? But you know what? I'll take it. It's the 4th and final year, so his development really doesn't matter anyways. A lot of these QBs are still on the board. 2 top 5 prospects still going undrafted here. Looking at a free safety here because why not? It's good to have depth there considering how bad our safeties are. That guy's a tackle, not really very athletic. Bruce Gilmore, 5'11", 203 out of Michigan State. Good speed, good strength, solid acceleration here. B pursuit, F stamina, B hit power. I'll pick him anyways. I don't think he's going to be that good. Ranked 40, got him at 64. Hidden development, never mind. Pretty good. Nice depth there because it actually does matter having depth safeties in free agency because they do rotate, and also they do rotate in the game a lot too, so that does actually help. Then in the third round, let's pick up another defensive tackle and then probably a fullback, and then I'll just simulate to the end. Joseph Reed here, he has great strength, poor acceleration, don't really care. A tackle, we'll pick up Joseph Reed because why not? Ranked 89, got him at 96. Hidden development, 93 strength is great for rookie. W pick. Let me simulate to my next pick, and then I'm just going to skip the 4th round pick as well. I don't want to look at this, please. And then let me just skip into the 5th round and pick up a fullback because why not? Picking up this fullback, ranked 51, got him at 160. Garcia here, 84 strength, 79 speed, 6'2", 260 almost, out of Kansas State, blocking fullback because why not? And for the final draft of this rebuild, Marquis Timmons, 78 overall, normal development. Gilmore, 74 overall, hidden development. 71 overall, hidden development for Joseph Reed. 67 for a right guard that I didn't pick. 73 for a fullback, and I didn't pick these last 2 guys either. So rebuild's been balling. We've been picking up a bunch of ballers in the simulation as well, especially in the draft with Graves and also getting that superstar development corner. We've been doing really well. Now, this is the team moving into the 4th and final year. I think we built up a pretty baller team. 5 X factors on the offense is pretty ridiculous. I think we only started with 1 in Justin Jefferson, then TJ Hawkinson, Jordan Addison, Graves, and McCarthy all came into play. And then defensively, still looking pretty good as well. Like everything that we got there, Gilmore is a backup. Everything, once again, does look really good. 4th and final season. Let's see if we can run it back to back here and then just skip into the playoffs because we don't need the midseason. 13-4, first round bye, number 1 in offensive points per game, number 5 in defensive points per game, number 1 passing offense in the league, 24th in offense and rushing defense, but 8th in passing defense, so I'm glad that finally improved. But we are 13-4 once again, first round bye, blowing out the Lions 45-3. And the Packers, we dropped 56 points on their head, balling here. JJ McCarthy leads the league in yards by a wide margin and touchdowns. He's going to get another league MVP. Justin Jefferson, 1 reception shy from 100 receptions, almost 1,900 yards, 28 touchdowns, breaking Randy Moss's and Jordan Addison's touchdown record. Dallas Turner, 21 sacks. Andrew Van Ginkel, 20 sacks. Andrew Van Ginkel is such a baller, dude. He's so good in simulation despite his age. Stats and awards, absolute glaze from JJ McCarthy. 1st in every stat, 1st offense in the NFL, 5th in defensive yards, and even Dexter Graves, 32nd in rushing touchdowns, but I don't really care about that. Josh, dude, you're kidding me. Absolute snub. The world's biggest snub in the entire world. JJ McCarthy, number 1 in passing yards, passing touchdowns, passer rating. Got sacked 26 times, 7 interceptions. He had a rushing touchdown, snubbed. Oh my gosh, this is a generational snub, just like Lamar Jackson getting snubbed for his 3rd league MVP. What does Josh Allen have? I have the 1st round bye. I have more yards, more touchdowns. Sure, I have 2 more interceptions. I have a significantly better pass rating. I got sacked significantly less. It is a QB stat, if you didn't know. It's not just an offensive lineman thing. Josh Allen here, no rushing. No, he actually does. My bad. For some reason, I was looking at the fumble. 10 rushing touchdowns here. So he had a total of 53 touchdowns, 2 less interceptions. I had the better pass rating. I am not tweaking here. I had more total yards than him, including rushing, more total touchdowns. Sure, I had 4 more interceptions. I don't care. I still had a better pass rating. Got sacked significantly less. This is a generational snub. This is so ridiculous. That is so bad. How does he not win this? Oh, he threw 4 more interceptions. I don't care. He still has a better passer rating. That's ridiculous. Generational, dude. I'm so upset about that. Dexter Graves, 1 fumble, 6 touchdowns, 3.9 per carry is not that good, but I don't care. Justin Jefferson, 28 touchdowns, 1,900 yards, easily breaking the record. Most receiving yards in a season, doesn't beat Calvin Johnson's record, but Justin Jefferson shreds the touchdown receiving record. And then Jarek here with 1,100 yards, 8 touchdowns, outperforming TJ Hawkinson and Jordan Addison. That fat payday did not pay off. What happened there? But either way, Jarek's still doing pretty good. Sacks allowed, as Spencer Vaughn allows 9, which is kind of ridiculous for a center. And then Brian here with 8, 5 for Blake, 3 for Nathan, and then only 1 for Darisaw. That's what I expect from like a 99 overall superstar development left tackle. Ivan Pace with 97 tackles for a loss, 11 for Andrew Van Ginkel, 8 for Jonathan Allen and Thurman, and then sacks 21.5 for Dallas Turner. Huge breakout year again from back-to-back seasons. 7.5 sacks more than last year. That's X factor. Andrew Van Ginkel has been a baller the entire rebuild. 20.5 sacks, 11 tackles for a loss, interceptions 2 from Mekhi Blackton and Byron Murphy. Really, we only had a total of 6 interceptions throughout the entire year. And then deflections, 7 for Byron Murphy and Nakobe Dean, 6 for Jay Ridley here. And then safeties on the team, 0 defensive touchdowns is 0. Still mad about that generational snub, but we're here to face our division rivals, the 11-6 Green Bay Packers here. As did the Bills get their number 1 seed? Like, even, I mean, Josh Allen's top 3 in passing yards, but it's still, like, we are so much better. And the Bills got a 3 seed. So we had a better record than Josh Allen. I know that's a team stat or whatever. Better record, more total yards, more total touchdowns, a better pass rating, got sacked less. He just had more rushing touchdowns, which even though it's not more total touchdowns, I'm going to rant about that forever. Either way, I'm not hopping into this. Can we beat our division rivals to move on to the conference championship? And the answer is no. 43-40. Our defense hard sells us once again. That's ridiculous, dude. This is how we're going to end this. Another generational season by the Vikings just for them to fall flat. Typical Viking season. They will forever be in shambles. Not poverty because we won at least 1 Super Bowl here. But that's ridiculous. That is so ridiculous that we did all that for nothing. Bills didn't even make it to the Super Bowl. Josh Allen's awarded the league MVP. Justin Jefferson, Offensive Player of the Year. Kevin O'Connell, Coach of the Year. Generational snub. I'm always going to be mad about that. As Cam Ward is on the Rams now. That's wild. I'm still super mad about that, but this was a successful rebuild. I built up a really, really good team here. How does Dallas Turner not have X Factor after getting 21.5 sacks? We'll never know. It's just EA's system is brain dead, just like most of the time whenever I record a video. But anyways, apart from that, guys, I thank you guys all for watching, even though you just witnessed a generational snub. But anyways, let me know which team you want me to rebuild next. And apart from that, guys, I'll see you guys all in the next one.